Hi guys, Larry with Kilo. Let's talk a little bit about probiotics. So they're kind of all the rage right now. You hear about it in the media a whole lot. And probiotics are basically the good bacteria that are in our system. We actually have far more bacteria in our body than we have human cells. So they're pretty important. And what we want to make sure is we have a lot of good bacteria. So probiotics are by definition that good bacteria. They are defined as live microorganisms that when administered in adequate amounts confer a health benefit on the host. That's a whole mouthful, right? So what that really means is it's specific types of bacteria that are living, that are given in an adequate amount that actually do something positive for you. So there are probiotics that are considered good for general health. And what that really means is they are fixing, they're restoring the really good status of good bacteria in our GI tract. There's really nowhere on our bodies that don't have bacteria, but where they really kind of all come from, where it all starts, is in the GI. So we want to make sure we're putting in good, specific strains of bacteria. In the case of like this probiotic that we're talking about for Kilo, you've got one called Saccharomyces boulardii, and you've got three others. And these three others are from the renowned Institut Rosell, and they are very good at making high quality probiotic strains. So we have Lactobacillus acidophilus, the Rosell 52, and then we have the Lactobacillus rhamnosus, the Rosell 11, and we also have Bifidobacterium longum Rosell 175, as well as the Saccharomyces boulardii. All big words, right? What that's really saying is those are specific strains shown through various research studies that what they're really doing is they're restoring a lot of the good bacteria in our GI systems. So what they've found is when you put in specific bacteria, all the other bacteria that are good for us are allowed to thrive in our GI. So we don't put back all the thousands of strains of bacteria. What we want to do is create a microbiome scenario, a gut ecology that is favorable to all these other good bacteria to allow them to thrive as well. And what we don't want is kind of the bad bacteria taking over. And what they found is when we don't do anything about it, when we don't take any probiotics, then we will oftentimes get those bad bacteria to win the battle. So whether it's taking various NSAIDs like ibuprofen and aspirin, or we drink alcohol that can do it, or one of the most popular things you'll see, especially during the winter, is always using the antibacterial hand stuff, right? We're always trying to avoid bacteria, when in fact bacteria are actually really good for us as long as they're the right kinds. So these bacteria that we're talking about today, these specific strains, they are probiotics. There are other good things you can do, maybe kombucha and kefir and yogurt and things like that. Those are fermented foods and they have bacteria in them. They're generally considered good for you, but they are not technically probiotics. So when we really want to focus on helping the GI create a good microbiome, we take specific strains of probiotics like the ones from Institut Rosell to improve the system. So what people find is when they have the bad bacteria winning the war, they find the obvious conditions of GI issues that go with that. But what they also find is a weakened immune system. They will also find that they have higher levels of inflammation. They often find little skin issues. So when I see a client that has skin issues and they say things like, I get sick often, the first thing I go to of those foundational formulas that we're talking about would be probiotics. And it's got to be a high quality probiotic that's living the right strains and will be able to have an actual health benefit on the person that's taking it.